Gonna start it. Good morning, afternoon, rather. Hello and welcome. My brain's not functioning yet. You know, coffee still needs to be pumping at 3 in the afternoon somehow. But
you need Coffee Lake.
Coffee Lake, what? And
we're going to talk about that later.
yeah, right. It's a new product that is just injects coffee into your bloodstream. It's great. It's great. Once again, another week that I don't have an overlay. Thanks, guys. It's a fun joke that Google doesn't let me do the overlay, but lets the brothers tech do it. I don't know what this is. It's silly. But welcome to the show. So glad you are here. We got some fun stuff in the works for this. Jurassic Park is happening. It's good stuff. I'm excited for the new Jurassic World coming out in the future here. Josh, how are you doing today? What do you got going on?
Ooh, man, just did a little benchmark of the Agents of Mayhem, which is kind of a cross game from Volition. They make the Saints Row games, and so it's still in the same universe as what they call it, but they're still all purple effects and fleur-de-lis, little the Saints Row Saint symbols. So one of the guys from Giant Bomb calls it Florida Lee. So he's like, well, it just sounds like it's Florida, and like, don't say that in New Orleans, okay?
New Orleans.
But yeah, it actually runs pretty well on the Surface Pro i7 model, so that was fun to make. And I've got some requests for EVE Online, which is a super duper nerdy space sim. So you have to like use spreadsheets and stuff. So I'm sure my wife would love it. But
yeah. Well, moving right along, Jeremy. On a scale of 1 to salty, how salty are you that you missed the free Amazon Echo?
Right now, pretty bummed. I've wanted to have one of the home products, whether Google's, Apple's, or Alexa, for a while, and I missed that Slick Deals. I was 1 minute away. 1 minute away.
For those who missed it, like about 5-10 minutes ago, got a Slick Deal notification saying that there was a free Amazon Echo on Amazon. I don't know why, but it gave you a $50 off coupon when you put it in checkout. And it only happened for like about a minute. I sent it, and Josh already had Slick Deals up. He got it, and Jeremy logged in and was like probably 30 seconds off.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
Bummed out. But how's Maryland out there besides the being bummed?
Oh, there's a lot of salt in the ocean, but otherwise, it turned out to be pretty decent day so far. It's making out pretty good.
Yeah, it was a hot day. I went to go leave a meeting, and my car said it was 103. Obviously, it was probably in my car, but it was 90 something outside. Pretty warm, and it was really muggy. I mean, it's not Texas hot, but it was crazy hot for West Virginia. Wild and wonderful. Well, jumping right into things today, we got a lot of good stuff happening for you. First thing I want to talk about, which is looking really good, is the final renders of the LG V30 are here, and this is what we're gonna get. It's not just something here or there, but this is what it's gonna look like. It's pretty surprisingly like a Galaxy S8. It's more curved than the G6, but once again, Evan Blass did his good work for the world and leaked the V30, but still a dual camera, still fingerprint sensor on the back, and those bezels are just incredible. Small, and I like how it's a little rounded, a little more chromed than the G6, but I think it's looking super solid. Overall, this is something that I'm pretty hyped for. One of the main editors at The Verge here was saying he's actually more excited for this than the Note 8 or the iPhone. So we'll see. This could be something that's pretty cool. What do you guys think of this final design of it?
What's funny is The Verge had a whoever was putting up the link accidentally put Pixel 2 instead of LG V30, but when you clicked on the link, it showed the LG V30.
Oh,
But I think they fixed it real quick because I
yeah.
don't see it on the front page. But yeah, so
Yeah,
no,
it's
it
like-
looks really good. One of my friends at one of the hotels that I go to at work she has an LG V6 and a G6, and it's really nice. So a larger version of that would be very sweet. So
yeah. So it's going to be a little bit sleeker, a little bit more rounded version of the G6, basically, and obviously a lot bigger. And it's looking like the bezels are a little bit smaller, even somehow, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, the G6 was a super solid device. In hand, I liked it a little more than the S8, just because it didn't have curved edges like the S8 did, and I like that in the hand a little bit better. But that's just me. And so this will be just a bigger version, a little bit more, obviously, a creator's paradise with dual cameras and quad DAC and a few other things. So 6-inch OLED display is going to be a monster. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, I'll get to get some more thoughts when I get a hold one and play around with one for you guys here soon. Any other thoughts from you all?
Jeremy said, "Will it have an audio jack?" I'm pretty sure it will have an audio jack, but
yeah, it will.
LG's smart.
They're not showing the bottom there.
They
Yeah,
are.
but from all the specs, it does say it does indeed have an audio jack. So that is good to know from my perspective that they're still wanting to do that. But no, Jimmy's a skeptic over here. But speaking of screens and how they're looking and how they're doing, Jeremy, what kind of tech is making some movements forward right now? That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's an interesting patent that just recently came out. It was first filed now from Motorola on a particular new technology of screen self-healing. So this is potentially like if you drop your screen on the ground and it has a little, splinter crack, it would potentially, you could click around the area that has the crack, it would heat up the area underneath of it. It would all kind of just meld back together and then would be like you've never had a cracked screen. So I guess there's some thermal technology built into it. There's some interesting things that they're saying that would actually go into the technology. But self-healing shape memory polymer would be kind of cool to come out on some new phones. So they said it was released in February, but it just got out to the public now. I guess it was approved. So will they come out with one of these? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah. You would think that they would have to have the actual technology pretty close before they would put a patent in. So.
Well, they're the ones who just came out with the shatterproof Moto. So, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They had a shatterproof one, but it's one of those things that it can scratch the screen pretty well, though. So if they can mix that shatterproof with the self-healing, that would be like the sweet spot, because that's what they're saying, that the scratch-resistant ones were cool, or shatterproof ones were cool, but if you had keys in your pocket or something sharp or whatever, you would have like little micro abrasions on the screen, and it kind of made the clarity of the screen kind of busted. So if they can mix a self-healing with a shatterproof, that would be like the perfect combination, in my opinion, because the LG G Flex and the G Flex 2, they had self-healing backs on them, which was interesting. They had a polymer, just like you said, that if you heat it up or kind of rubbed your finger on it, it would start to heal it. They straight were taking like knives to it, and it would heal like 90%. You could still see, like, if you took a knife, you could, anything like just with a quarter or like a credit card or just something with your fingernails, it would completely heal it. But obviously, like big gashes would still be a little bit visible. So if they could do something with the Shatterproof plus that scratch, fixing, that'd be awesome. This sounds great. I mean, obviously they're moving towards that with their last couple of their phones having Shatterproof stuff on it. So yeah, that's cool.
It kind of seems like version 3.0, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's all moving forward here. So hey, that's cool. Because that's the thing, you buy a $600 to $1,000 phone today. If you drop it, you're looking at $200. A good chunk of change. Sometimes more, it depending on the company. I mean, less if you know how to fix it. But if it's a new phone and they don't have all the parts out yet, or if it's like the S8 and the curved display, which is like more difficult to repair and stuff like that, you got a lot of work out for you. So I like the idea of adding some added time on your device, because obviously right now manufacturers have this like feigned obsolete type stuff where they're purposely making the hardware die at like 1.5 years or 2 years. Like they know how durable things are and they can make them more durable, but they are trying to get you to buy things every 2 years or every 1.5 years. Heck, they have the jump programs from AT&T and T-Mobile and stuff every year, every 6 months. They want you to buy something new.
Well, of course, as long as you're paying the $30 a month or whatever, then you don't have to pay any more. They'll just give you a new device, and then they can refurbish that one and sell it brand new, or like sell it refurbished for make their money, half their money back. But my thing is companies like HTC are doing like, hey, we'll give you 2 drops. That's a cool plan. But if you have insurance on a phone, like my wife had the S4 and we got insurance for it. It went dropsy drew and the screen cracked. It cost $200 to get it fixed. Even with insurance. And I was paying, $11 a month for insurance. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
your deductible is crazy. So, but then every time after that, you could have dropped that S4 4 more times and still not paid more, right?
I mean, technically, the S4 was what, like $650, brand new or whatever. So,
but still
another time. Yeah. But it was one of those things where it's just, what a bummer.
It's not worth it. Yeah.
No. So I don't think I'm going to get a Note 8. I might get a Note 7, FE, whatever edition, fan edition they're doing.
Edition.
I know, the Fire edition. So, but the price has got to come down. Like I'm done paying $800 to $1,000 for a phone. It's just ludicrous. So
ludicrous mode in Teslas. Yeah, but I feel you. I'm not excited for the $1,000 plus that they're talking about, the iPhone 8 and the Note 8 being in that same range, potentially $1,000, $1,100 for some of the models. That is hard to deal with. These $300 phones are looking really good,
right? Then the LGs have been historically $100 to $200 cheaper, so they're pricing right to beat the competition. But at the same time, Samsung's blowing it out the water with all the marketing, so everybody sees all the Samsung phones and they're like, oh my gosh, this is the one I saw in the commercial, it's amazing. And then they're like, and then you go into AT&T and they're like, have you seen the LG? It's $100 cheaper, but it doesn't have that infinity display,
right?
So, it's like, oh my gosh,
LG spent like $1 million on a Jason Statham commercial for LG G5, and it was a terrible, really weird commercial that confused everyone, so no one bought the G5.
Yeah,
and the device wasn't that great anyway. But it's just, marketing matters, and Samsung's catching up to iPhone and Apple with marketing, and they're just crushing it with their marketing. And LG, they need to figure out a way to do a little better with that. And the V30 historically hasn't had the best marketing. They've done a lot of like guerrilla marketing stuff. They've done a commercial with Joseph Gordon-Levitt for the V10 and the V20, which is cool, and they're doing it again for the V30. But not a lot of advertisement besides like online social media stuff. So we'll see what they do for the V30 with its launch. I mean, it should be the end of the month and then released next month, full on scale. But we'll see if they really ramp up September 1. Lots of marketing for it. But I'd like to see them to come back strong with this again and start getting really good numbers. But well, speaking of new stuff coming out, Josh, what was the newest announcement from Intel? Swing it back.
Yeah, so Intel just disclosed, it's not like they're really announcing it. They're just like, oh, by the way, guess what's coming down the pipeline?
BT dubs.
It's called Ice Lake, and it's their first 10 nanometer chip that's actually beyond Cannon Lake. So it's going to be, we had Sky Lake and then Cabby Lake. Cabby Lake is what's out now. And
Krabby Lake.
Yeah, Krabby Lake. And then after Krabby Lake is Coffee Lake. And after Coffee Lake is Cannon Lake. And after Cannon Lake is Ice Lake. So I don't have
when did Cannon Lake come out? I didn't even.
It's not even out yet. So so Coffee Lake comes out on the 21st in 3 days. So basically
the Wikipedia article breaks it down for you, and some of them are like TikTok stuff, so that's like not even that big of a deal. But
yeah, but
they name them.
What they're saying about Coffee Lake, they're saying Coffee Lake's supposed to have 30% over KB Lake. So it's like, of course, it's 3 generations newer. I mean, of course, it should have,
right.
Or I mean, no, it's actually just 1 generation. But yeah, this is so from PCWorld.com about Ice Lake, and of course, they have to have a nice picture of an Ice Lake. But
I just like the guy's profile picture.
Exactly. So they're calling it 10 nanometer plus process. So
gotta add the plus to everything now.
I know, right? So of course. And Coffee Lake is still 14 nanometer, just like Cabby Lake. So that's basically their expected. Yeah, Cannon Lake is coming before Ice Lake, and that's going to be the first 10 nanometer chip. But then 10 nanometer plus, it's probably going to be the optimized. So as Sky Lake to Cabby Lake, Cannon Lake and Ice Lake are the tick and talk. So
okay.
Ice Lake is going to be the faster of the two. Cannon Lake's just going to be like, hey, now this is 10 nanometer, and then 10 nanometer plus is like, hey, now there's even more Optane memory support, yada, 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 whatever, proprietary crap they can throw in there. So we'll have to see. But jumping over to the Coffee Lake announcement, the tagline is throwing shade. So August 21st, 14 nanometer process says Intel claims 8th gen core chips up to 30% faster than today's Cabby Lake in some applications. Of course, they haven't seen that performance leap in years. They've been doing 5 to 10%. So we've heard rumors of 6 core chips and quad core i3 chips finally cracking into their lineup. And so, yeah, but 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on August 21st. There's going to be a reveal on Intel's Facebook page or internal newsrooms. So definitely exciting stuff, new stuff coming out. So Coffee Lake.
Sounds like they're rising to the challenge.
Oh, whoa. Hilarious.
AMD got a rise out of them.
Oh my gosh. And I'm wondering what the price is going to be.
It'll be rising too, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But nice. Well, that's cool. I mean, there's no shortage of tension between the two of those companies and trying to race forward to get something newer and faster. So I like it. It's going to mean better, faster builds for the future, more options, and more power than you might need. But it'll be
hopefully great. They'll drop the price of the previous stuff. They just came out with all this all these new things, and I mean, they're just announcing Coffee Lake tomorrow or on the 21st. So then they'll be like, "Hey, it's coming out in 3 months." So
You're still ahead of schedule, Josh.
right. Well, this is for talk and news, and here you go. I'm throwing it out there. Maybe you've had your head stuck in a hole, and you don't have all your RSS feeds going. So
no feeds.
No feeds.
Speaking of RSS feeds, if you haven't heard all the recent news of the Galaxy Note 8, it's coming in full. Now, not only do we have confirmed specs, but we literally have a brochure of the Note 8 that was leaked in Australia. Those Aussies leaking stuff. So this is an actual brochure that was leaked in Australia. So everything you need to know to get things done, see what's possible. You have a phone that keeps up with you. And so there's bigger things. Note taking has never been so easy. Zoom in to stay sharp. They have the 1.7 f aperture here, lenses, dual pixel sensors, optical image stabilization, 2x optical zoom. So they're coming in hot here. There's the numbers you can call that might not exist yet. It's smart switch. Here's some colors. I like that deep sea blue. It is looking nice. That is my favorite so far. But yeah, that's a little bit of what we're getting from the Note 8 and these leaks. Nothing crazy new, but like it says here, it's going to be the Snapdragon 835 or the Exynos 8895 in more global standards. 6 gigs of RAM, that dual camera, and the 2x optical zoom is what we were wondering, whether or not it was 2x optical zoom or whether it was
digital
wide, or whether it was some type of wide angle and then a normal angle like the V series does. So
I mean, is that going to be, what was the other camera that did that? It had the zoom. Was that?
Well, the iPhone does that. I mean,
iPhone 7.
It has. It's one lens that's a more
two fixed apertures, but you can go to the zoom lens to
the second one.
Yeah,
that's a wider shot or zoomed in shot.
Yeah,
yeah,
gotcha.
And then,
well, hey, that's new. You said there's nothing new. That's new.
Yeah, that's new, and the new color, that deep sea blue. Come on. And these, I guess all the slick wrap type stuff that are coming out, the old things here.
And hey, they moved the fingerprint sensor to the back in a very awkward position.
Yeah, well, those are the old pictures.
Just like the S8.
still awkward. Yeah, still gonna be.
But it has secure iris scanner technology, so you won't even need it.
Yeah,
yes.
This is so nice that they just have it on there just because they can,
Right. And they still have wireless charging. They still have water and dust resistant IP68. So
replaceable battery,
6.3 inch screen. That's new, because the 8 Plus is only 6.2, correct? Or am I wrong? Is that 6.
I would have to check that. The only difference is that it's going to be like, I think the dimensions are just a little different, but it's the same aspect ratio as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it says QHD. QHD plus is what it says.
Yeah, they'll say that,
Unbelievable.
But once again, you can have a cool GIF capture with the S Pen, which was a nice feature for the Note 7. But
man, I made a sweet Stephen Curtis Chapman, "This is the great adventure" GIF. So that's all that matters.
That week that Josh had the Note 7, we had the most GIFs we had ever received in our group messaging.
It was very explosive messaging.
and the week that you which app did you Textra? Which one was it that you got that
Textra started sending GIFs, and now Gboard. So now I can do it in Textra or Gboard, depending. So I can search GIFs in two different ways.
If only you all knew our messaging in our Google Hangouts that we have just streams of GIFs at times.
Have you guys gotten the new Gboard beta for Android?
No, I haven't.
They have
No.
Bitmoji support
I don't
now.
use keyboard.
Bitmoji support.
Bitmoji.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
really
talking
like
about.
Bitmojis.
I've never made a Bitmoji. I know Jeremy has a cool one.
He's got a suit on.
This
Oh,
is going
yes,
to be my
that's-
Bitmoji right there. That's my Bitmoji.
Will they give
In the chat,
people
nice.
a
Totally
clean off the
camera.
camera from the smudges? Yeah, I can imagine that it could get a little dirty. But one of the things that Samsung does incredibly well is their focus, their really fast focus. So it'll be cool to see if that's still connected with the dual cameras, like how that's going to affect when you're changing from 2x zoom to regular zoom, if that's going to affect how fast their phase focus is. But the S8 was one of the fastest focusing cameras that they have, and I don't even know what kind of juju they put in there, but it's like faster than laser focus, the phase focusing. So we'll see if it's the same with the dual cameras with that. But now that's a pretty cool thing. I'm looking forward to that. But speaking of using cameras to get cool things, Jeremy, what's happening on Monday that the world is going to be watching?
A couple things are happening. First of all, the moon is going to be lined up with the sun in this little thing called an eclipse. And another fun company has jumped onto the live streaming of the eclipse, namely Twitter. So if you have a Twitter account and you're alive on Monday, and you want to watch it across multiple states and cities, you can. So Twitter is teamed up with the Weather Channel, and they're going to be streaming all of the solar eclipse on the Twitter network across the United States, 10 locations. So McMinnville, Oregon, all the way down to Nashville, and probably into South Carolina, most likely. So be kind of cool. You can watch it kind of like, you watch online or on TV with the new year coming in all around the world. We'll see all around the United States via Twitter. Yeah. So if you can't see it in person, the full, the blackout eclipse, like you can't travel to your nearest blackout location, just check the twits. The Twitter channels.
The Twittersville. Yeah, we're only getting a partial eclipse here where I'm at. We got to go a little more south to get the full effect.
Yeah, a couple hours south or go west to Nashville or something.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the cheapest eclipse glasses on Glamazon right now are, you can get a 5-pack for $30.
Yeah, they jacked up the price recently, probably because
they had a takedown of all the fake ones.
$80 and these ones are CE certified safe, $29.99 to $200. Oh my goodness!
Crazy.
I mean, you can get jacked up if you're not careful. I mean, you don't want to be looking at it with the blind eye for very long. So still UV rays coming out.
There was an article of a guy that had permanent issues with his eyes from when he was a younger kid with
Try to use 3D glasses, the blue and red. It didn't work.
Oh. Wow.
Whoa, it's really 3D. Ah,
And of course, the side of the glasses say Eclipse America, August 21st, 2017.
Yeah, it's funny how the fake ones say I have a NASA logo, but none of the real ones do.
That's funny.
It's like certified by NASA. Well, not really.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of uncertified, Josh, there's some rumors going around about a little bit of money grab here. What's happening with AMD?
Yeah, so I just saw this on, I know, it's crazy, on Awesome Hardware with Paul and Bitwit. They do a show. It's really cool. And they were talking about, they saw it on WCCFtech.com, which this one, Tech Radar, which I'm using, shows as well, that the AMD RX Vega 64 could get more expensive as introductory pricing ends. So there's a rumor going around that was in a forum. An Overclockers UK staff member, Gibbo, posted on the company forums, Now, the good and bad news. The good news is AMD are rebating early launch sales to allow us to hit £449.99 on the standalone black card, which has no games. This is only a launch price at present are saying will be withdrawn in the near future. So they're saying that it's going to drop either £100 or $100. So if
ouch.
So yeah, the Vega 64 was $499 standalone, and the 56 was $399. So they're saying that they're going to jump it to $599 and $499 respectively, but not respectively, ridiculously. So it's like, who does that? Like introductory prices. I mean, like I understand Nvidia did with their Founders Edition. It costs basically $100 extra, but then they said the pricing for retailers is going to be $100 cheaper. Now that's smart, saying you want to get it now, you're going to pay $100 premium because we're the makers of the card. You're going to get it from us, and right now. But you know, it's one of those things where, hey, Glenn, what's going on? That's a nice avatar you have. Is that really you, Glenn? I'm wondering. But basically, I really hope that this is not the truth. You know, it's got to. Hopefully, AMD sees the light and says, "No, we're not going to price hike $100." You know, it's like, wow,
right.
But
I mean, they could be having rumors to get people hyped. But I don't know. You know, there's all kinds of things that they could be doing with this, but who knows? Well, cool. Well, lastly here, I just had a quick thing that not only is we talking about new phones here, but it's not even completely out yet. But Andy Rubin's company Essential is now valued at $1.2 billion.
Oh my
without
gosh.
shipping a single phone, they're already valued at $1.2 billion. They had been previously pegged around 997 back in July, and now they crossed the threshold of $1 billion. There's already some early things talking about the Essential phone from The Verge is the first like exclusive look at it. And they're liking it so far. They're saying that the camera's not as good as they hoped it would be. But that it's a great phone overall, really, really great experience. Android is awesome, but the camera was a little subpar. So that's a bummer how much the camera's not that great. Yeah. But what I think kind of the Essential company is setting themselves up to do is kind of create an ecosystem for the future. They have their home products that it looks like they're trying to get that more of their focus. Like the phone is something that I think they might just be trying to hype up and get some money out of, and then work on a lot of other projects as well. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the Essential company? Where do you think their future is in this market? Do you think they're going to put more money into home, or what's that looking like?
Well, I think Andy Rubin, being one of the founders of Android, wants to keep making phones. I mean, that's
right.
It's obvious, and coming out with, you know, this kind of, hey, Glenn, it is worth $700 because look, it's got titanium, man. It's got ceramic, man. I mean, look at that screen, man. Sheesh. And if you watch The Verge's video, he pops out of his main shoot there and says, hey, we just got the software update for the camera and it's better. It's not going to beat the Pixel, but it is better. So that is, you know, it's going to be a good phone and have a good camera as well. But it's for Tesla drivers. Of course, it's for Tesla drivers.
That's funny.
Hey, I've got my, you know, P whatever it is, and this is my ridiculous mode, and I've got my Essential phone, so they just
P100
marry each other. But
I like it. I like it. And it's
That'll be
an
interesting to
LCD,
see what the
OLED. So there's some
Yeah, yeah.
things that are interesting about this.
well, it's an LCD screen,
It is.
so it's not AMOLED. So if you want to use it for VR, you can't. Sorry.
bummer.
Wah, wah, wah. But
Unless you cross your eyes really good.
Yeah. Any
Unless
other thoughts about Essential Company and being
Well, their
rated
home stuff. I
1.2
mean, I don't know if you
billion?
saw the round like picture wall thing that they had going on. That was running this running Android. That looked pretty interesting. You know, some of the stuff. I mean, with him being the Android guy and coming out with screens, you know, with their manufacturing or getting manufacturers to get him screens and stuff. I could see this as only being the beginning. You know, having a phone,
Yep.
selling at a profit, get some capital, get your evaluation out there, and then get some investors. You know, they're like, well, you have a real product, and they can say, well, here we have some products that we're trying out to see if the market can bear some different things. So we'll see what happens. I hope that we can get another big player other than just like Samsung, Apple, LG, etc. To push Android a little bit more and something that's clean. You know, I think they're going stock Android, right? So if the more stock Android players we can get, I say the better.
they said there's only like 6 more apps than stock Android. So
okay, well, this is fine. You know,
not much
the
bloatware
Verizon
at all.
backup app.
So here's
Verizon
a little.
It's a Sprint exclusive, so no Team Red at all.
Well,
and
you know, you buy it unlocked, and you can.
you can. Best Buy has it.
Yeah.
Unlocked. You can
But
pre-order right
carrier,
now.
if you want to buy it from a carrier, you can only buy it from Sprint. But here's a little cool slider that they have
just like Google.
on their site. On the left is the Essential phone, and on the right is the Pixel. Obviously, this isn't. There's the Pixel, and there's the Essential. I mean, you don't get to see a ton of detail because it's a small picture. But if you go to The Verge, and it's on the front page, but Essential phone review, you can find it. They say camera system works by combining two 13 megapixel sensors. One's full color, one is black and white. That's similar to what Huawei does on theirs. Combining the images from each sensor allows the phone to work this way to take the data from each and get a better image. So you can help with a depth of field. You can help with color correction and some low light and some things like that. In theory, those are all the things they can do. And there's that Samsung marketing, you know, right there in the middle on a thing for the Essential phone. You get that. I like the modularity idea with the VR.
Yeah, that's cool.
And things like that. So
the 360 camera,
yeah. Built right in.
They got the fingerprint sensor in the middle, you know, just like the Pixel. So
yeah. So it's looking great. I mean, there's going to be some quirks with the camera, but I think that it's going to have an uphill battle in the market right now, and that was known from the beginning. But I love the titanium rails to make it even more durable with the ceramic on the back. That's a great thought. I'm not a huge fan of LCD over LED, and I'm not a huge fan of the camera not getting that great of marks. But we'll see. I'm a firm believer that, you know, software and longevity of the software is a better experience overall than just having strong hardware. So, you know, take it or leave it, whatever you guys need or want in a phone. I like having more options. So this is great. And a lot of people are going to probably pick it up because of, you know, Andy Rubin and his legacy, you know, with that. But I'm looking forward to seeing some more reviews on it and getting a better picture of this. So any other thoughts with that?
You have 3 S8 Pluses. Glenn, I asked Glenn what kind of phones he has. 3 S8 Pluses, a V20 and a G5.
Come on, 3 phones, not 3.
Are you a drug dealer, Glenn? Are you a drug dealer?
Are they burner S8 Plus?
Michael Vick one time said the key to having multiple girlfriends is multiple cell phones. So that was Michael Vick's knowledge for you.
Right. Well, you can just get Google Voice accounts, or, you know, like, I mean, come on now.
Well, Josh, Jeremy, any final thoughts for the afternoon on the Tech and Talkers?
Taking the talk.
Taking the talk.
You know, just take tech talking one day a week, one day at a time, you know.
No,
But no, I'm definitely looking into doing a new setup tour. My setup has changed dramatically, but you can't really see that on the other side. So
that sweet shelf though.
I know I got a sweet shelf back here for all my figures.
Yeah.
So I know, right? But and I got my sweet sign back here from Kim Thomas Designs. So woot woot. So I'm going to be doing some hanging, some cleaning up here, and sprucing this place up so I can show it off to the world. But check me out, Joshua14 on YouTube and at joshua.net on the interwebs. So
I like it. James, any final thoughts?
Go check out the blog. We just put a new, if you own a business, we have a new tips for staying competitive with your technology. So a couple things out there to check out.
Where's your blog at?
OmniTechPro.com/blog.
And links for both youtube.com/Joshua Heslop, Joshua Heslop, Joshua14, and I'm thinking Joel Heslop and Joshua14 at the same time. Joshua Heslop are going to be in the description below, and OmniTech Pro is in the description below, and we can put the specific blog post as well in the description. Blog. But thank you all for watching so much. It has been fun talking some tech in the talks with the brothers Heslop Tech Talkers. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy the tech talkery, and we will see you all in the next one.